Check this out. The explosion of the kung fu movie genre into American pop culture during the 1970s definitely left a permanent imprint on our society. Especially following the release of Enter the Dragon, the martial arts industry experienced a massive surge in popularity. Bruce Lee became an icon. Terms like Sifu entered the common language. Notably, the word master took on a new meaning within the black community. It shifted from its historical negative connotations to now signify teacher. This era saw a boom in martial arts related magazines, books, TV shows, and comic books. Enrollment in classes spiked at the YMCAs, the recreation centers, and there was a significant increase in adult students. Furthermore, black nationalist groups and civil rights organizations began endorsing martial arts training. Quiet as it's kept, during this time, the martial art focus was more on adults than young children. Hong Kong Kung Fu cinema deeply resonated with black consciousness at the time. You see, most of the samurai films or the Japanese movies featured heroes working to reestablish or to uphold the accepted social order against those threatening the norm. In contrast, the Chinese kung fu films often depicted heroes battling against oppressive or tyrannical societies and battling the establishment for acceptance. Now, these ideals mirrored the social movements of the 1960s and 70s. Again, a great example of that are the first two Bruce Lee movies, The Big Boss, or as it released here, The Fist of Fury. Especially his second one, released here as The Chinese Connection, but titled in everywhere else as Fist of Fury. Well, given all this cultural impact, it is striking to know that the Kung Fu classes, the classes actually teaching the various disciplines of Kung Fu, did not achieve the same level of widespread popularity as Karate or Tae Kwon Do. Despite the powerful themes in these films that seem to invite people, to flock to a particular discipline of martial arts, that transition really did not occur. I believe the growth of Taekwondo and Karate was really due to what I would call direct exposure. Many martial art pioneers were introduced to these disciplines while deployed overseas, and they established classes in their local neighborhoods upon their return. Consequently, karate classes and taekwondo classes became a staple of the urban landscape, so to speak. Conversely, Chinese martial arts often required a proximity to a Chinatown, and many schools remained closed to outsiders until the late 1960s. Though, as I said in my previous video, there were some instructors who were open to everyone regardless of their race, but it wasn't a lot. Furthermore, and this is important, most people at that time, and kind of true somewhat today, they did not distinguish between various arts. folks only knew that a martial art had kicking, punching, and maybe throwing. Whether it was Shotokan, Goju-do, Hapkido, Jiu-Jitsu, Harang-do, the specific country of origin or the lineage didn't matter. They wanted to know the methodology of self-defense. You know, it's similar to someone saying that they want to go out and eat Chinese food, but they go to a Korean or a Japanese restaurant, and somehow that's all Chinese food. You know what I mean? Trust me, you all have that friend or that family member that refers to almost all Asian food as Chinese food, though it is not in any manner, shape, or form. Now, after the second martial arts boom in the 1980s, after the Karate Kid movie, the number of Kung Fu schools and classes increased significantly, though they didn't quite reach the same number as Taekwondo or Karate schools or classes. Now, here's something. In the 2020s, in today's era, with a large segment of the population over 50 years old, and also living a lot longer, Chinese martial arts such as Qigong and Tai Chi have seen a huge surge in popularity. So much so where you even find karate masters and grandmasters participating in classes. There is no doubt that the initial popularity of Kung Fu cinema paved the way for the martial arts to integrate into our culture. And it is this culture that helped to create the warriors of bronze and fire.